For more on the preparations, let's go to Mike Bako. He's sports editor at the website dailynational.com. Mike, this is obviously serious stuff. You don't want anything to go wrong once the games begin, so you got to iron out all these things, look for the hiccups in advance. Talk to us about the status of this preparation work.
Well, it's been going on now for a few days. It's going to be a 10-day period. They're going to do a couple of these leading up to the games, obviously. So right now what they're doing is having only Chinese athletes doing these test events. So everything from a curling event over what was formerly the Olympic swimming pool, some ice hockey events, long distance ski jumping. So all of these things are being done, tested not only for the actual facilities where they're going to be participating in those sports, but also from a facilities standpoint. The people that are going to be working at the facility, making sure that the ice is perfectly smooth, making sure that some of the ski slopes have the proper amount of snow on them. Obviously, right now, being in the springtime, that there is not as much snow on the ground or won't be as cold as a few months into the new year when the games are going to be taking place. So these are all things now that they're testing to the best of their ability. But again, not having done this, trying to test this out during the tail end, hopefully, of a pandemic. These are all of the things that no other Olympic city has really ever had to do before.
We saw Zhang Yibing's story there. Zhang Yibing can get along pretty easily, get around town. But talk to us about foreign media. How do they go about staffing and covering the 10-day event, given the fact that we're still in this pandemic?
Well, right now, the way that they're doing it is obviously testing when you come to where the events are taking place, 14-day quarantine, and then temperature checks that happen throughout the course of anywhere that they're going. So those are kind of like the standard things. What it's really done has been cutting down on the number of foreign press that have attended these events, certainly being able to come and to watch the test events, get a behind-the-scenes look. This is really a big PR effort as much by the 2022 organizers. But with all of these things that the foreign press will have to go through to actually be attending the events, that attendance has been cut down. We were going to have someone go, but it's just not feasible to think that they could go quarantine for 2 weeks and then all of those other things, never mind coming back as well.
Yeah, it certainly jacks up the price of everything too. February is a ways off, but if we've learned anything about this pandemic, it's just when you think you've turned the corner on things, there's another cluster popping up. We had a story earlier, China now dealing with one near the border with Myanmar. Of course, here in Washington, D.C., everybody excited about fans getting back in the stands, and then the Nationals players actually getting the coronavirus. So what do you think officials will be looking for before they greenlight a full-blown event? I'm sure they want to put fans in the stands, but it's got to be safe.
It's got to be safe. It's got to be safe for the athletes. And I really think what you're going to judge this on really is how the vaccination rollout goes across the entire globe. So, U.S. athletes, the rate of our vaccinations, great. In the United Kingdom and England, those vaccination rates are going great. In Europe, not so great, just in terms of the number of vaccines that are being given. So as you look to the end of the year and the beginning of the next, how many athletes will be vaccinated? Will those Olympic athletes get preferential treatment? Possibly, but when you're looking at a global scale, how many athletes are going to be vaccinated, and then just scaling down how many potential foreign visitors would be vaccinated? It's in a way we're somewhat skewed here in the States with over 100 million vaccinations that have been done, 30% with the double vaccinations, but in large parts of the world, that's just not the case. And if you're looking at having large groups of people, certainly with the 2021 Tokyo Games, they are not allowing any spectators to come in and really clamping down on the athletes that are going to be there. So I would think that even though we're looking at 2022 and there should be some normalcy on a global scale, I don't think it's going to be doors wide open for foreign visitors to come in.
Yeah, lots of questions still need to be answered. Mike, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much for your insights.
Oh, thank you.